You know, I'm just going to tell you, whatever's reacting to the current conditions that you seem to be in isn't you. That's basically the message, yeah. So whatever arises isn't you. Now, you would think that message could get through, but the fact is, the sense of you will arise quite quickly thereafter and say it's the you that everything is arising to. So you've got to look at what you're not from what you are, instead of spending any more time trying to look for what you are from what you're not. And this is a beautiful opportunity because it's a very strange time in America right now, everywhere. And a lot of stuff that wouldn't come up frequently is coming up. And all of that is the minutia of what we're not, yeah? And it's the same principle applies. There's not one point that what is being seen is ever the seeing. It's not as the seeing. It's appearing as a seer, but not as the seeing. So I find now with these ideas that are coming up, being in the house, people that I know, their life and their sense of security is dependent on certain situations and conditions. Now those situations and conditions have changed, and now their sense of okayness is shook up. Yes, is it all right?
Yeah, it's just not sure about the, I don't know how to mute everybody.
You just let them ask questions. I don't want to talk about it. I like the live. This doesn't, yeah, it's not doing it.
Does anybody know how to raise their hand on the Zoom box? The first one.
Yeah,
Miss
right in the
Rebecca.
middle, that's just- yes, Rebecca, yes.
Well, I'm raising my
I need
hand.
some questions. I'm not gonna, the computer isn't motivating me.
I noticed it just went dead. And I finally just got back on again, so.
You didn't miss anything, so.
Excellent. Well, we talked earlier today, and the whole question about security, you know, false security, sense of security, I think that's what is coming up. I'm noticing this, you know, in a failed system, a false sense of security kind of goes along with it. So I guess the question would be, can you just...
Well, no, what it was, it's always a false sense of security.
Yeah.
But then what happens is situations and circumstances can reveal that to you. Yes?
Right.
Yes. So the sense of security is false. And usually we can live maybe for quite a while to get around that. But in fact, it always is going to reveal itself to be a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is just hitting it right, like bringing it really close to home. So it's like, can't avoid it now.
Yes, and the thing is, then when that false sense of security has been revealed, then what you're not starts looking for relief and can try to find relief in non-duality, yes?
Ah, yes.
Which is another bondage, yeah? So that which you're not has been introduced to an incredibly novel idea, and when a lot of the things that it's been relying on are proved inevitably to be false, it will now approach non-duality as a skillful means to try to get relief from what it's feeling like concerning this pandemic, yes?
Yes.
Yes, that doesn't work.
No.
How it works is that which is doing that isn't you. So you'll see that which is hidden when its false securities are working has now come into the light because now they're not working, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So by it being revealed by the failure of what it was relying on, you can see it is not you. While it's all chummy and chilled out and its false senses of securities are working, you don't see it. It relaxes right behind the
next 6 or 8 months, or we can really be in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in this way, these situations have incredible value because they bring a lot of stuff out into the light And that stuff that comes out into the light is not, you're not learning about yourself, you're learning about what you're not, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. So when those false senses of securities are working, that what you're not is relaxing, quote unquote, as you, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that usually has very little interest in non-duality because its little strategies are working. This is where it's a weird time, but I see it a lot with people who are really screwed, and then they get introduced to this idea. So they're really screwed as Paul, and then the idea that I'm not Paul sounds really, really valuable to that Paul. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that ever working, really. So I feel like non-duality is just an invitation, and it's an invitation. I heard it the other day. Someone was sharing someone else speaking about it, and so the person asked the person, "What is non-duality?" And the person says, "It's what we all are." That isn't what non-duality is. Non-duality is a negation of what we're assuming to be so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we're assuming to be so is regulated and manifest and it's under the law of duality. So there's good swings supposedly and there's bad swings. There's contraction, there's expansion. There's a sense of security, then a complete freaking loss of a sense of security. All of that is not so. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so.
Of course it
it's not
seems
so.
so. So
Yeah.
when it seems so, that which is seeming so too will try to use non-duality to make it seem not so. Yeah?
Ass backwards. Yeah.
Just see that's not you. That's all. That's the beauty of it. You know, when the shit hits the fan, a lot of stuff comes out into the open. And with the idea of it's not you, there can be a freedom from it and a reconfiguring of your ideas of what security, not your ideas, the ideas of what you're not, concerning security and stuff like that. This is the way it comes out. So in a way, this is an incredible opportunity. I'm all for self-isolation.
There has been a relaxing into that, which has been, fantastic. I said there has been a relaxing into that, which has been fantastic to just really allow that truth to be so instead of resisting it. So.
Yes, but see, the relaxing into it is also available, the relaxing out, seemingly out of it, yeah? So the relaxation is really prior to into it and out of it, yeah?
Yes, because conscious contact, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
comes first, right?
Yes. So if the freedom is prior to the idea of bondage, that's the freedom. You're not freedom from bondage, you're freedom from bondage. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a different, because that's always available at all times, right where we are. It's not manufactured. Even though to some people's narration, it suddenly appears, but what suddenly appears has always been there. So did it actually suddenly appear?
No.
No. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And for those that know how to raise hand using the participants box down at the bottom of the Zoom bar,
There's
you
another
can
one.
raise hand that way too. Okay, great. And Sharon's gonna be.
Sharon only gets one question. All right, Sharon.
Okay, well, she's trying to mute it.
I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's someone else.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yep. Can anyone else hear her? Can everyone hear Sharon? Yeah, all right. Yeah.
It's not a question. I was just including maybe Mike and Keith or whoever's phone is on. There's a lot of ambient sound, so I'm wondering if everybody could turn their mic off because it's really hard to hear.
Yeah, I just learned how to mute all, and for instance, when Rebecca got unmuted and she was done, we all have to remember to unmute ourselves, so I will try and mute all as frequently as possible. But
Mute
yeah, like when Rebecca was talking, I think she had background noise. I think that might be what you're referring to. So be cognizant of your own background noise in order to be able to have a conversation, because we hear that background noise really loud.
And remember, folks, this is going to get a lot better as we go along.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make up an instruction sheet though with the email and the link.
Okay, I'm good to mute.
By the time we're totally immersed in the apocalyptic event, we'll have very clear,
Z is there.
very clear Zoom.
Not muted.
So Sharon, that was it? No question?
Okay.
No.
Anyone? Oh, there's the lady from Canada. Aha, there she is. How are you doing?
Which lady?
This one right here. You're in the box.
She's unmuted now.
You can speak it now.
She didn't want to.
Good to see you, Paul.
Good to see you. All's well?
All is well. So far.
Oh, good.
Better now.
Any questions?
So I work frontline with a lot of people, and this has been a very panic encouraging situation. So I'm just wondering what the best way to deal with it would be. I mean, when I sit with you, or if I'm sitting with someone that can talk about this, it's fine. But when you're one-on-one with someone that's panicking, how do you deal with that?
Well, I don't know unless I'm in the situation, but most cases, I wouldn't frame it in non-duality. I would see that more like the person's house is on fire. They don't need that there's no fire. Here, there's no fire, no house. They need a pail of water, yeah? So just some way to sort of send their head around the corner for a half an hour, yeah? Yeah.
Okay. So just distract them for a while?
Distract them, and then there's the idea of, there's so many ways to approach it, but obviously if they're in a huge amount of anxiety, that's demonstration they're relying on something that's failed, so to speak, yes?
Yeah.
Now they're having a rude awakening about that, so they're fucking flipped out, yeah? And so maybe there's a possibility that there's a power greater than that which they were relying on that will take care of them, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Ramana would say in this place, there's like there's two things, either surrender by realizing that you're outmatched here, and that you need the help of a higher power to live on a day-to-day level, or you recognize the source of your miseries and see that you're not that, yeah? So most people in certain conditions, they're much more open, and there'll be like a more immediate relief from the first one,
Yeah.
Entertaining the idea that there's something greater than what they're relying on that can be available right now, yeah? And that will do a better job with their life than they are, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually we never have any questions. So these people are stunned.
And actually, if anybody knows how to raise their hand in Zoom, will you do that so I can show Paul where it shows up? Hopefully one of you knows how to. No. And there's an icon at the bottom. There is a participants box that shows up when you click on participants. And then that new box will have the raise hand feature.
Oh, there's Maria.
Yeah, Paul, can you hear me?
Yes.
What if the person doesn't have any kind of a faith belief system? So if they don't have a faith that there is some higher power that can, which is the case for many of my patients, they don't have any access to
Well, then I would point to them, well, they obviously have something, they have faith in something that's not working.
Yes.
Yeah. So therefore,
Yes.
like when people say they have no faith, there's faith in that.
Absolutely, yes.
So you can always take it back and you'll find the point of faith. Yeah. So they're having faith in their own, let's say, thought system or perceptions, and that faith is failing them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I would go that way. Instead of introducing the idea of a power greater than themselves, see what they're relying on now is failing them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then usually they're looking for some tricks. They're not looking for a greater than I kind of source. They usually are looking for some tricks to continue to rely on there. So then once you show them that their method is failing, they're looking for another method.
Yeah, it's the same system that's failed is trying to find another way to keep itself going. You can point that out to them. Life's going to point it out to them sooner or later anyway, yes? Yes?
Yes.
I mean, because obviously, time runs out in the efficacy of the tricks, yeah?
Right.
Yeah, so maybe you'll have the great pleasure of seeing the whole system collapse in front of you one day. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you live under the rubble of one collapsing on you already. That's a nice, consistent realization, is knowing that you're not managerial quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If not, you know a lot of skillful means. Obviously, that's your job, is to throw them a few bones.
Right, sometimes it feels like a waste of time a little bit.
But it feels like that to who?
Right, yeah. I get it. Mm-hmm.
If you could say everything's a waste of freaking time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But does that work? For me to sit here and thinking everything is just a waste of time. I'm going to have a whole lot of time to waste. Yeah. I'll have to come up with ideas like this. Yeah.
That was good. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome, honey. Good to see you.
Yeah, for us too.
Oh, it's getting nicer now.
Did you take your hand out?
Z, I know you don't have any questions. Z. No, that's good.
Do I have my hand up?
Yeah, there it goes. For some reason it disappeared.
Any other one? Anyone else have a question? Coco, I know you do.
I did. Test it 'cause I didn't know. So I was wondering.
No, I don't have a question.
The lovely lady from Canada next door.
You raise your hands. I don't want to raise my hand.
We need to
Oh.
mute her.
So I'm gonna mute Maria.
All right, Maria, you're muted.
Maybe Coco? She's a question.
Yes, and Coco, yeah. Coco.
It's Hamid. Hamid has a question.
Oh, wait a minute. We have another question from the box with Maria and Hamid.
Hamid. It's
All right,
Hamid.
Good evening, Paul.
Hey, how are you?
Good, my friend. How are you doing?
Good.
Awesome. I think for me, Paul, just an observation. It's like when you started, like it's you know how some people, the world as a stage, and a play is like happening before your eyes. With everything that's happening now, it really feels like I'm watching this play unfold, and it's fascinating. It's just like paying $100 to go to live theater and watch a play unfold. It's fascinating for me. Just wanted to share that.
You got a cheap seat. Costing people a lot more money than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a nice way of seeing it, yeah. But remember, there's no Hamid that's seeing it that way.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. There's tons of ways of seeing things, but none of them authenticate that there's anyone seeing it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I had that view at the moment, an appropriate response would be gratitude. Yeah.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nicely put.
All right,
Thank you.
we're moving on to the next square. All right. This is for the match. Square number 4. Oh, there's Coco. Square number 3.
Hi, am I unmuted?
No, you're live now.
But I see that you learned to raise the hand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
your hand showed up. Great.
I'm just wondering what you think of this. It's well, you say it anyways, but I guess about I don't know, just after Christmas, I kind of gave up. I was like, fuck this, I'm giving up. I can't do this. I have all these spiritual things happen to me, but I'm still in the self. Screw it. I'm giving up. I give up. And I don't know what happened, but I got lighter, and I'm really happy these days. And it's what I did was I sat with my pain. I just sat and felt whatever came up really, really deeply. And there was a lot of crying, and I started crying spontaneously when I was driving, and I just let it happen. And I just let the pain come. And it was about 2 months of doing that. And I'm sorry, I'm lighter. It's really nice. It's really nice. So I don't know if you want to speak on that, Paul, because you kept saying it.
That provokes a huge amount of gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. My little idea of that is that idea of lighter, had come to the point of manifesting, and then it has a story. The head writes a story around it, and that's the story you just shared.
Yeah.
But the light preceded it all. Yeah. What you didn't produce the lightness. The lightness used all these things that you did to reveal itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. I'm just lighter.
That's great. Well, that just stays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't add anything to that. Yeah. Oh, another hand. A Z.
Sort of about current happenings and my perception of it. And basically, there are 2 ways to look at it. One, commonly accepted view, and of course it's true. It's an incredible human tragedy in terms of people's lives and the way that our one view. Another, perhaps higher, more, how would I say, non-dual view is empty phenomena rolling. In other words, we have always had tragedies as humanity. This is kind of unexpected, and it's horrendous. So I'm torn between 2 views, seeing the tragedy and being very moved by it, and try to find a means to help out. But the other view is, gosh, this has happened before. It's vastly unfortunate and undescribably unfortunate, but it's empty phenomena rolling on. So anyhow, what can you say about that?
Well, I say there's the 2 views being claimed to imply that there's one that's being torn.
Mm-hmm.
I see. You're tossing
You
it
see
back
it?
to me.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I see that.
So
Yeah.
the 2 views arise, then the head claims them to imply there's the one who has the 2 views that's being torn. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's torn came after the 2 views. The two views were claimed, and then they implied the one that's being torn, and then that gets presupposed before the two views. So you're the one who had the two views, and now you're you're being torn by them, yes?
Yeah,
I'd love
absolutely.
to take that apart and just, this is how I see it.
Mhm,
The two views just arise, yeah?
Yeah.
They're claimed, and then there's an implying that there's a person that's torn, and then that gets presupposed before the two views.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. In fact, on a couple of occasions, I had the same view. I would ask the ultimate question, where is that originating from? Who is, you know, and then of course I forgot it and totally thought it was me that's deciding, that's having dilemma and all of that. But it only happens in a few moments, and I just wish it would stay forever, but it doesn't happen. So that leads to another question. How do you integrate your knowledge of spiritual that are throughout many religions, and non-duality is kind of the essence of it, so how do you integrate that with your everyday life, where you seems to forget about that and behave from very egoful position? So how do you bridge that? How do you integrate your beliefs into daily life? I guess briefly,
I
that's
don't.
it.
I don't.
You mean you just behave your beliefs in accordance with?
No, I see whatever is thinking it has a belief isn't me. Yeah?
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see, there's no need to integrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? That's on the side of what you're not. What you're not wants to integrate this idea of what it is to make it better for what you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
You just see it and then let the chips fall. The chips are gonna see how you want them to fall. Yeah? Then there's a subtle trying to arrange what's gonna precede the fall to make it, just let it fall, and then you read the chips after they fell. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see, and then by its fruits, you'll know the tree. Yeah?
Yeah.
You'll observe things are going, or the way things are being held aren't based on your little higher graphics, whatever they are called, language and everything. It's like a new way of traveling. You're not just adding a new idea to the old modality. It's a whole different, it's a new modality, yeah? That includes the appearance of the old modality. But now the appearance of the old modality doesn't it tries to signify, but it doesn't complete its mission that the old modality signifies there's a you, yeah? You just see it all. You watch it because you're before it. You're the seeing of everything. You're not the seer. Yeah, you're the seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
The seer, no, are you the seen? You are the seeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does, when you're from the seeing, what's seen? The manufacturing of the seer.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that is seen, is the manufacturing of that one who says it's the seer of all things. Well, seeing sees that. Yeah?
Yeah.
It misses the most important thing, which is a no thing. So it is the seer of all things, but you can see it from the seeing. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, I love you're saying basically about, seer and seen. You're quoting St. Francis when he said, you are what you're looking for. And yeah, that resonates. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I am what I'm looking for, then maybe all the looking for would come into a new line of questioning.
Yeah.
I just, to me, it's these things sort of stop stuff. Yeah. So what happens is, what it stops is the incessant looking for at that moment. When you hear it, what's looking is what you're looking for. What gets captured, the looking for, right at that moment. So it's like
How do
you
you
catch
break
the movement. You catch the movement, not in hindsight or as the witness or you see it. You see it baked, you know?
No, that's absolutely true. And you know, I very much resonate with that. So how do you break that that reaction that you kind of go to you know, personality and whatever sense of individuality? How do you get to your, you know, true being, which is no being at all, and you know, which
Well,
is itself?
you're lucky you're on the screen, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Zen bitch slap. I'm not gonna forget. You're gonna get a physical Zen bitch slap. Remember, put that in the notebook. Z.
Where is it?
That's a Zen bitch slap. A big one. All right, Z.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Thanks.
what happens is that which wants to change can't change. It has to realize the inability to change what it wants to change. Yeah. Then there's a new modality, which is it opens up to being changed, which is different. Yeah.
Right.
And by the changes that are brought about by life or by whatever you want to call that power, you get to honor that which you can't see, feel, taste, touch, and smell. But there's an intimation of it, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a sense of it, a strong sense of it, because it's doing for you, as we say in recovery, you'll suddenly realize can be like a consistent state, a sudden realization that something is doing actually through me what I cannot do for myself, yeah?
Right.
That is beautiful. That's and it coincides with seeing the failedness of the system you're relying on. And then suddenly there's a workability that sort of suddenly appears. Yeah? As a great convincer that you're onto something.
Yeah. And I see the paleness of it, but usually afterwards, after the act or after going the way of the ego, I see the paleness of it. But it unfortunately it comes after instead of before. But anyhow, that's how cookie crumbles right now. But you know, we'll see.
But the point is, all the afters that we're thinking are after are still rooted in the before. Yeah.
Right.
So the seeing it now implies you weren't seeing it before. But that's just an implying, yeah?
Right.
The seeing it now is from the seeing before.
Yeah, very true.
You see the time thing? Time is a freaking illness in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Sure.
It distorts and mutates things. It's like seeing something through like agitated water, yeah? The water is clear, you can see through it, but the agitation is affecting the appearances, yeah?
Right.
This is what's happening. Time is like that. We're not seeing things clearly because time is muddying it all up, yeah?
Right.
So we have a recognition of what's always before in a moment of time, and it always has coincided with, oh, I wish this would have happened before, because now the seeing is implying a whole history of being unconnected, and then suddenly you're having an experience connection. That's slavery.
Yeah. Sometimes, speaking of time, sometimes I feel that in the present, past and future are contained.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. That negates the sense of time and all of that, because it's all happening right now, past and future, and you know, yeah.
So it's just good, you know. Whatever comes after the conscious contact, either see that you're taking it very seriously, or observe that you're not taking it so seriously. You know what I mean? And I would say the satsangs and the talks are hoping to sort of lean into the not taking it so seriously.
Right. They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. And I thank you for it.
Oh, no problem, bro. I love you. Yeah.
I love you, bro.
You're still gonna get slapped.
Yeah, no, you're not immune to a slap, though. No. Anyone else? Yes, again, yes, this lady,
Right.
my friend from India.
From India?
Yeah,
Where's she from?
right up there,
Oh,
number
okay.
2.
Okay.
No, she's muted still.
Oh, she tried.
Hold on a second.
Sorry. Unmute. You're unmuted. Okay.
Square number 2.
What's up? You want to be part of this? You want to be part?
No, you've muted.
Square number
Oh.
2? No,
You're
you're
muted.
on another square. Hold on.
Wait, what is this?
Square number 2, you want a new dishwasher.
Now mute her.
A Kenmore
Oh,
dishwasher.
she's doing the same time.
Paul, my next question
The
is
next question.
sometimes I'm well aware that I'm feeling, so for example, if I'm angry about something, I know that I'm angry, I'm feeling it, I know why and everything, the whole story behind it. But there's often times where if I'm sitting with someone, I start to feel an emotion that doesn't belong. And
What do you mean it doesn't belong?
doesn't feel like doesn't fit into the story.
Whose story?
I don't know.
What?
Is it
Life loves to intrude into our stories. There's always a lot of cameos we hadn't written into the script. Yeah. Yes.
but is it a possibility? Like, can you be sitting there and sort of tapping into someone else's emotions at that time?
Well, yeah, they're not their emotions. They're emotions, yeah. Of course, you can feel a lot of it. Some people are more sensitive than others concerning that. Yeah. What do you think? Everything stops at the skin, you know? Their emotion stays in that little 3x6 foot, little container. No, they spill out.
How do you know? How do you know that it's something that you're sort of making sense of that story, or if it's somebody else's that they're experiencing right now and you're sort of picking up on that right now? How do you differentiate that?
You just will or you won't when it's happening. See, I don't have any interest in it at all. Yeah. I know, like, if I'm pissed off for something, everyone around me knows it. I wish it wasn't the case, but like the broadcasting bandwidth doesn't get minimized. Yeah. I learned that early in life. When I was out there I had magnetic appeal to a lot of people in uniform. Yeah. I put out like a fucking strong dog whistle that brought me a lot of misfortune I felt I didn't deserve. So it behooved me to have a new director of whatever you want to call Paul to be. Yeah? So, yeah.
It's out for you now.
What?
Working out for you now.
Oh, it's working, yes. Yeah. Well, if you don't die. I came under a new management team. That's what recovery did with me. The action figure had complete faith in a failed system, complete faith, and it was producing a lot of consequences. I needed it to be arrested by a divine intervention. Like, I was struck sober, and then new ideas came up, which was a reliance on something greater than self. Yeah, and I went to it like a duck to water, really. And basically, my whole action figure life is based on those ideas coming to life. Yeah, not just being a concept, but a real sense of it. So I've been flying by the seat of my pants for 30-something years. I'm amazed of the authorities haven't got me by now. Yeah. So rely on something, have faith in it. When you need to read the tea leaves of other people, you'll be able to read the tea leaves. If they're none of your business, you won't be drawn to read the tea leaves. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I feel the experience of Paul is more an expression and an observation of expressions, really. Yeah. I don't see it as a cause at all. Yeah. And I'm coming back to Toronto sooner or later.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah, please. Let's go to another. Can we go to another square? Let's see. Who's this person right there? Someone's waving to the bottom.
That's Becca's.
No, this one right there. First one there.
The peace signs?
Yes, we got you.
You're unmuted. I say Bliss. You sit closer to your microphone. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Tiny bit better.
How about now?
No.
Can't hear you, but
Okay, how about now?
a little bit better.
Much better. Yeah.
Okay, I got it on full blast here. Okay, so I'm in Calgary, Canada, which is the west coast of Canada. And I saw you, Paul, in Toronto a couple years ago.
Yes.
Hi again. And speaking of emotions, on this track that Justice Sharma just got us on the emotion, and you mentioned being pissed off. I came late to this meeting because I had an argument with my roommate. I'm socially isolating and not going social. She's very social and keeping going with social. So we had an argument, and it ended up in she called me a particular name. I get emotional and I start crying. And I don't know if there's anything to do with emotions unless just run them through me. Like, what do you do when you get pissed off? What do you do when you have sadness and emotion running through?
Again, I don't have any rote answer, to tell you the truth. There's usually a response when it's occurring, but I can't, it's not like a driver's manual. Yeah. I can't write. It's just, again, I like the idea of like being, let's say, disappointed or my feelings are hurt. I don't try to use a technique to say there's no me that have their feelings hurt. Yeah. The feelings have their 5 minutes on the stage, and then there can be a question, well, because then the mental state will claim to be the one who had the feelings. Yeah. So I like to have the feelings first, and then that which comes after and claims it, I question that. Yeah. I will just see it's not me. But there's not a use of that idea to squash the emotion. Yeah. I believe everything arises, has its 5 minutes on the stage. It doesn't mean it's going to become a syndicated show, the 5 minutes on the stage, and there's usually a reaction, and I say, oh, I didn't want to feel that or stuff like that, and I always can just see that I'm not that, yeah? But I'm not trying to use a technique to squish the emotion. Yeah?
Do you see you're not that in the moment of it?
Yes,
or
of
later?
course, because it's, because you are the moment, yes. Yeah, and if you believe you didn't see it, it doesn't matter, you did see it, yeah? what you are saw the emotion. Yeah. You're before everything. You're being conscious of that doesn't have to play as big a deal as some people let it play. Yeah. With the understanding that, let's say, after 500,000 things appearing, you realize that you are that which is before all appearances. You don't have to go through each appearance. Yeah. There's like a quantum leap of understanding, and now there's a knowing that whatever is arising isn't thee. Yes. Now, is it helpful to the action figure every time? No, but who cares? The only thing that would want to use it is what you're not anyway. Yeah? I wish I could get this across. What's wanting to know non-duality is what you're not. Yeah? What's looking for relief here is what we're not. There's nothing wrong in that, but the relief is really from it, not for it. Yeah? So you get relief from it, and what does relief from it look like? You lose interest in all of its fucking meanings that it's giving everything. Yeah, we have a beautiful statement in recovery. You'll lose interest in yourself and gain interest in others, and all your little plans and designs. They put the word little like a little because most people believe their plans and designs are big. Yeah, but the book, the AA person said a little plan and design. Exactly. You'll get downsized, not by attempting to downsize it, by losing interest in its false side. Yeah? You lose interest in it, and that's its being right-sized. You don't use interest to become right-sized. You observed that. You observe humility. Yeah? Yeah, so feelings are hurt. Usually there's a reaction. Are they my reaction? No. But are there a reaction? Yes. Yeah? Yeah. So, yes? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. They see the cat doesn't care. It's just wants its ass rubbed. Yeah? I don't think they can see the cat. They just see my hand down. What's he grabbing? A bottle of vodka? Something? No, a cat. A cat. A cat that doesn't like to be. Oh, yeah. It's on the show now. Yeah. Any question? Come on, Donna. You can speak from Ohio. My hairstylist. All right. Yeah.
Okay. How was your trip to Australia?
Oh, it was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah.
That looks amazing. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm disappointed that I can't get to Toronto in April if the band's still on and this virus, but this is great. So thanks for doing this, Paul.
Well, I think we'll do it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think we'll do it more because I'm self-isolating, so I got nothing better to do. We'll do it a couple of times maybe. So if you're interested in doing it, we'll try. I don't know how we'll get the message out, but we will send it to Coco and stuff. And we'll just do it a couple of times a week maybe.
Yeah.
And,
Posting it on Non-duality was helpful too.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
and
How did that
Toronto
happen?
said-
Well, that was Coco, yes?
Yeah, Chris and I think it was Chris posted it, but whoever. But
Oh,
that was,
all
that
right,
was
good, yeah,
helpful.
that's good, thank them. Yeah, we'll try to do it more. If you guys want to do it more, we'll do it because we have a lot of time. And there's Yeah, 2 thumbs up from my benefactor from Los Angeles. Yes, yeah. So it's a nice way because we got to have, yeah, it's the way to do it now. And we'll get this down. I think I can do it on the phone maybe too, no? Or the iPad.
By yourself, it'd be harder.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Mike at all times. All right. Well,
I got time.
oh, he has time too. Any question? Yes? There's another question. That's Pat. Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay, you're unmuted.
Hey, this square's had a lot of questions already, this square.
I want to ask you something. Hey, first, do this on Zoom. It's wonderful.
Oh, good. I
hope-
didn't hear all of that.
I said, I'm so glad that you're doing this on Zoom.
Yeah.
I hope that you do go ahead and do it often. I think it's great.
Good. Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, we'll do it.
And also, I do have a question for you.
All right.
Okay. You kind of answered it, but I still want to ask.
Yeah.
With us teaching and all that, or reading or whatever, you're aware of your real self that you are. And then what about all the rest of your time? Like when you're going about your life in the world, how much of it are you able to remember the truth about yourself? Is that a funny one?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
Well, I might see the sense I have. I don't remember the truth about myself because I remember the truth about what I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the truth about what I am. I am that already. Yeah. And I'm not aware of, I am not aware of that. I'm aware. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So it has a different feeling. You can feel it. You're incessantly on, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that which is the context of conscious contact, yeah. I think you can't be aware of what you are. So I would say we are awareness. So the way you get a sense of that is by seeing what you're not, in my view.
Ah.
Yeah? So by seeing that I'm not, and it doesn't mean I'm not, it's not like an angry I'm not or a, violent I'm not. It's just a matter of fact I'm not. By seeing what I'm not, there's an intimation of what I am. Yeah. And that intimation has a presence. It's something.
Right.
Yeah. And then whatever arises that says, I'm in the constant remembering of me, so I keep forgetting remembering that. I'm not that which is constantly remembering me. Yeah.
So it's like all the time you're realizing again, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that.
Well, it's sort of weird. It's not all the time. The action figure is an action figure, but let's just say, there was that old thing, I don't know, in some kind of psychology where there's 3 walls, and then the 4th wall is the person themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 4th wall, which isn't a wall at all, is making the box.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a feeling that we're in a box, but we're not in a box. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
The feeling, see, so
yeah.
When you see the 4th wall, yes, as not you, then it can't play the role of a wall, even though it's living as if it is all day. So there's like it becomes a fountain of comedy, really.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's like syndicated shows based on the 4 walls that it's still playing. And wow. If you can get a little sense of not being in the theater, it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. We're knocking them down. We only have a few squares left.
Well, the black ones are.
Who's, I remember this, the fourth guy. Who's the fourth guy up in there?
Fourth guy.
This guy right here. No, on the top. Yes. How are you? Yes.
I'm all right. I mean, I'm like everybody else, kind of hunkered down and not.
Did I used to talk to you about the steps? We used to share together? No. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm more in the non-duality camp than the recovery.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, I've gone to your meetings in LA. And,
oh, good.
Yeah. So it's just, I guess I'm just getting accustomed to the idea that I can't move around like I usually do, you know?
You can't do what? Move around?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of advantages to it. Yeah.
Not seen them so far, but okay.
Well, you will. They'll be revealed because to me, this is it brings up it calls forth a lot of old ideas, yeah. And when you see those old ideas, you're not beholden to them. There's a seeing of those old ideas, and then they get reconfigured, yeah. So yeah, I got a lot done today in self-isolation. I got in touch with and told people about this more than I've ever done. So
I definitely like the idea of this Zoom meeting. That's,
good.
I guess some of my reaction is coming from old stuff, and you know, it's like as a kid, because I was really sick, in and out of the hospital all the time, isolation was enforced. And I think that's what some of the reaction is right now. It's like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, so when that arises, yeah, then you see we have that in recovery, yeah, and it doesn't mean it's just based on recovery. When stuff like that arises, which is like an old mental groove based on trauma, yeah, you ask that to be reconfigured, yeah. You humbly ask this power, whatever it is, it's us actually, to reconfigure that, and then you ask it to do it, and then there you go, yeah. So all these old ideas come up to be revised and re-edited, so that the action figure will travel lighter. But the action figure isn't producing the traveling lighter. It's coming out of, it can't produce the traveling lighter, and it's relying on a power greater than it. So it's using the quality that's untouched by anything that ever happened, which is the seeing, and it's seeing, right, these old ideas, and it's asking that power to reconfigure them. And it will. So you have a great opportunity in this isolation period, because you're going to have those old ideas. I've had it tons. I got run over twice, and I've had a lot of long-lasting events of powerlessness, physical powerlessness in this life, yeah? So these things, and I can see when everyone is talking about symptoms, my head could have an anxiety, yeah? Yeah, all based on this. That's not, I have nothing fucking to do with that, yeah? So that was like, there's that old thing, serenity prayer. Please, you know, change the things that can be changed. Yeah, I'm not what's gonna change it, but they can be changed. I see it, I put it out on a plate. It's sort of like putting the garbage out. I don't watch all night for the garbage truck to come. I have faith in this process, yeah, because I've been involved in it 30-something years, so I just give it over to that, yeah. So this is a great opportunity for you, and then you'll sense a traveling lighter, yeah.
The other aspect of this is the illness that was there, which is still here to some extent as an adult, had to do with breathing.
Yeah.
And I was in oxygen a lot and stuff like that. And so all that fear, it links into that somehow.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because you're the target audience in a way. And you're outmatched. The system is outmatched, yeah?
Yeah.
So there you go. Admit that. That's the first initial awakening is a rude awakening. You realize you're not managerial quality. Yeah. And then other possibilities come up from that. They're not going to show up when you're the big looker of everything. Yeah. It's when there's a failure of the system and it's recognized, then new possibilities appear. Yeah. And a lot of times life has an interesting way of promoting it. Yeah. By events and circumstances.
Well, if that's what's happening, it's promoting it big time right now.
So let's let those files come up and let them get re-edited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Know you're in good hands.
Important to remember. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
And we'll talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
again.
please. Yeah.
Very good. Thanks again.
Yeah.
So you could ask here if Hari has her hand up. So
Yeah.
Hari.
Get Hari. Hari.
Does she know how to mute herself?
Hari, where are you?
Hari. Right here. You unmute her.
I don't see you, Hari, but
Oh, are you, am I on mic right now?
yes, you had your hand up.
Oh, hi, I'm getting gas at this station. I just got off of work.
Oh.
Yeah. I think this is fabulous. I just wanted to say, great idea. I'd love to tune in as much as possible. I hope we do it again. And also, will there be a recording of this available afterwards?
Yes, we're recording.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yes, it's being recorded.
maybe as
So-
just the regular
cool.
YouTube on him.
Thank
not-
you very much. Thanks.
It'll be on the regular YouTube.
Oh, it'll be, oh, cool. Even
Yeah,
better.
just we're making a video of this.
You know, I have a question that I don't even know if I should ask. It's kind of out there.
Well, err on the side of caution.
No, make her ask it. I want to hear it.
All right.
It's a weird one. I mean, I just worked at the hospital. You know, I already talked to you about this. I'm a little freaked out. We're running out of masks and gloves in about 7 days. That's one thing. I can deal with that almost. So here I am in Portland, and do you have any insight on the question of, I know this is not a spiritual question, but it actually is a really spiritual question. Should a person own a gun or not in a situation like that?
Well, this is getting, well.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry, Paul. It's
Now in
it's
the
totally
fish
inappropriate.
emporium, we've moved away from the cod kiosk, and now we're dealing with the action figures. This is what I've always, no, it's not about you, Harry, but this is what can happen when you open up to questions.
Okay, all right. You know what? I take it back. I should have known better. But there's got to be some way to apply all the good advice and wisdom that you put out must apply to the question, even if it's not involved in answering the question itself.
You'd have to find out for yourself on that situation. You're your own authority, but I would run it by other people before you buy it.
Everybody has an opinion, and it's always either definitely not or absolutely what are you waiting for around here.
Well, you know, sometimes I think certain things attract what they're supposed to be used against. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I can't actually use one effectively. I'd be like unable to hold my hand steady anyway.
Yeah, probably yes.
I'm sorry.
I'd hate to get a gun and get shot by it.
That's what they say.
As a person steals it and shoots me. That would
So
be
I apologize.
ironic. Huh?
This is the kind of question you get when I'm driving a truck at an intersection.
This is I don't know if I'm gonna do these anymore.
Okay, no, don't shut it down because of me. I promise I'll never ask you a logistical question again.
It's all right.
No.
But I want everyone to know, in a sense, we're speaking more on the action figure level. Yes. Yes.
Definitely right now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so I don't mind doing that, but I don't like it when it gets muddy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I take it back.
Non-duality is not for the action figure. Non-duality is the negation of the action figure. Yeah. Yet, the entertaining of non-duality will be expressed through the action figure. It's fucking crazy, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
I
more questions?
apologize, Paul. I can't believe I asked that question.
No, it's all right, honey. Just let me know if you do buy a gun. I'd like to have that information.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
All right, any more questions? No, we're all right?
I think we're,
That's okay? Yeah?
we added 1 hour. What's it say here? 1 hour and 10
Oh,
minutes.
Coco wants one more question. Coco, yes, here we go.
You're
unmuted. Honestly, it's not a question. I just wanted to tell everyone you will be coming to Toronto in the fall if this thing clears up. We just couldn't get him here because of the situation in April. I had to cancel it, but I am working on the fall, so it'll be September or early October.
Yeah, that'll be, hopefully we'll all be in good health and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a couple of you are gonna get slapped for sure. I got, yes, you.
I just have one question. Are you ever going to make it down to Northern Virginia or the DC area?
We were in West Virginia a couple of years ago. If you set something up, we'll come down there. We don't have any targets that we shoot for. We just get asked and then we check it out and see if it works for everybody. But we were in West Virginia last year, wasn't it?
I think so.
A year and a half, 2 years ago. But yeah, more than happy to come.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then you can email me and talk to me about it through the Zen Bitch Slap, yeah?
All right, good. I will.
What's your name?
My name's Chase. Nice to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Thank
All right.
you.
Hope I see you. Yep.
Somebody raising their hand here.
We got one more hand raised.
That was it.
I got my hand
That's
raised.
just Coco again. That was
That's
that was you were asking before.
All right.
Okay.
She said, I can see Keith on the freaking phone. It's like that horror movie. He's in the house. Any more questions? And please, hey folks, tell more people if you can, so we can get a lot of people on. Yeah, it'd be nice. We'll keep this thing going. And you can always donate money also.
So, and yeah, I guess I'll put the link on the website.
My lavish lifestyle. Anyone have a question?
Last.
Oh, class. Yeah. All right. Well, then let's say goodnight, eh? And you want us to plan this next week also?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday? Yes?
Yeah.
Because we can't have our regular Wednesday. The church is closed. So
the link will be on zenbitchlap.com.
All right, go to zenbitchlap.com and then we'll do more than one a week. We'll do more than that. Maybe we'll try to show up. We're going to have a talk on Saturday. Maybe we'll try to do this also. But we're going to have it at the house Saturday. It's supposed to be a nice day, so there'll be enough room in the backyard. There'll be different distances from different people. Z, 12 feet.
So you want to say besides Wednesday,
Sharon.
honey. So besides Wednesday, Saturday.
We may try something and do both, but we're going to have a talk Saturday at the house because it's going to be a good weather. We'll have it in the yard. Yeah?
For the people who cannot make it, though, we can probably.
Yeah, but we'll do something. We'll try to figure out how we can do both the same. Yeah? Or maybe we'll do the talk and then have this. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do a talk here and then have another talk on the thing. So it'll be posted in Zen Bitch Slap. Izzy, take it easy. My friend in Canada, right there, yes. Take it easy. Yeah?
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Keith.
My